Hey friends, how's it going? Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope you're well, because I can't see you, but you probably look okay. Today we're talking blind buys. That's right, fragrance purchases that were made before you gave the fragrance a sniff yourself. So yeah, blind buys, that's what we're talking about. More specifically, today we're talking about blind buy fragrances that I made that worked out, fragrances I actually like. To be fair though, most of the time the fragrances that I end up blind buying, I do generally like. Some more than others, but I have more hits than misses. Other than when I'm just buying the new fragrances that come out, the new big designer releases, I buy pretty much all of those blind, so we're not talking about those though. All right, you guys got the gist of it. Let's jump into it. Let's talk about some blind buys that worked out. I do want to remind you guys of the codes, those codes of shopping. TwistedLily.com, MaxAroma.com, the code is Gents10. That will get you 10% off your order. At LuckyScent.com, the code is Gents2022. Yes, we are in 2023, but that's the code for now. And I will have each one of these linked in the description below in case you want to check them out. These are in no particular order, so let's just jump right into it. First up is from Sean John. Fragrance is called 3 a.m. Now this one made like a little bit of a resurgence, I feel like, a couple of years ago, maybe a little further back. I don't know, time just runs together, where people were talking about it and saying how good it was as a cheapie. And I think it actually is really nice for a cheapie. I got this one back in 2015 when it came out, back before I had a channel. And I remember at the time that I bought the fragrance, I thought to myself, hey, this is actually way better than people online are saying. It's changed a little bit, but at the time that this came out and I bought it on Fragrantica, people were just dumping all over it, just crapping on it, saying how terrible it was. And so I was actually pretty shocked when I did like the fragrance. Now you may say to yourself, well, why did you blind buy it if all the reviews were saying it was trash back when it came out? My answer would be, because it was like $20. Yeah, this is one that was a cheapie fast. Like this hit FragranceNet and was inexpensive real quick. And as I've talked about before, sometimes it's hard to take Fragrantica seriously because there are a lot of people that will just downvote things on there that they've never smelled just because they want to jump on the hate wagon for whatever fragrance it is. Sometimes it's hard to get like an unbiased view at their ratings. But yeah, this was crapped on heavily. Then people started to come back around on it. It is not a powerful fragrance. That is one of the reasons that people originally were hating on it. The projection is not great. It's got okay longevity, but it's not like a really loud scent. But it's very fresh and it's got this nice zinginess from a tonic water, and then has like a very faint, clean leather undertone. Really nice casual fragrance. You could wear that to the gym also. And it has a great pressurized atomizer. Wow, it's so good. Let's keep it moving. I'm talking too much. Bleecker Street up next from Bond number 9. Yeah, this is an expensive one, and this is actually the bottle that I blind bought first, this little 50 ml. I've got more bottles of it now that I was able to pick up over the years for a good price, but this is the original one. Gotta love the squeak of the cap. Oof. Bond, why? So Bleecker Street, this one I bought mainly because I had read a lot about it. I had heard good stuff, and frankly, I just wanted it. Love the presentation of it, very colorful, eye-catching. The blueberry with the kind of grassiness and then the suede really had me intrigued. And then I got it in, sprayed it on, and fell in love with it. Yes, it's similar to Purple Label from Ralph Lauren, no doubt about that, but I still really enjoy the way that this smells, whether or not it's similar to something else. One of the more hyped fragrances from Bond number 9, and yeah, some people don't dig it, but for me, this stuff works fantastically, and it's also been a great compliment puller over the years. From there, let's hop over to L'Homme Rocus. Also, I should clarify that in this list, I'm not really concentrating on all of those releases that I do buy at full retail when they become available. So stuff like Dior Sauvage Elixir or Stronger With You, absolutely. Stuff like that I buy as soon as it comes out. Those really big designers. I tried not to include those in this list because then it would be more redundant. So just wanted to point out why they're not here. Back to this one, L'Homme Rocus. This fragrance, frankly, I didn't have much faith in. When I bought the fragrance, it wasn't heavily marked off yet. I actually bought it from Europe because it wasn't available in the US yet at any discounters or stores or anything. So I paid a little bit more than what you would pay if you decided to scoop this up now. So yeah, blue fragrance coming from this house, I was not sold on it. Then I got the fragrance in, I sprayed it on, and I thought it reminded me a little bit of Dolce & Gabbana's K, which frankly is a blue fragrance I'm not in love with. But then as I wore this fragrance more, I really came around to like it. And then it became available at US discounters, oftentimes for under $30. And that is a great price point. That's a good place to be. And the presentation does actually look pretty nice. After that one, let's talk about Tommy Hilfiger. Impact Intense, a fragrance that I brought up a few times. It is, in my opinion, the best in the Impact line. If you're going to get just one, this is the one to get. If you get the 100 ml size bottle, it comes with the gimmicky travel size built into the cap. But if you get the 50 ml like I did, no gimmicky travel size. Oh man. This one, a very spicy fragrance, sweet. Also, a little bit of an edge to it, very wearable, quite versatile. Faint similarity to Parfums de Marly Layton. Also with a throwback, of course, to the original Hilfiger Impact. A nice apple note in this one really captures the attention when you first spray it on. It has been off and on a little bit difficult to find at discounters, but if you can find it there for a decent price, this is a must-own, fantastic release. And with the original Hilfiger Impact, I thought that was pretty good, but then Impact Intense blew me away. So this was one that I blind bought, didn't have high expectations, and they were exceeded immensely. Let's follow that one up with a Raja Parfum Enigma, or Creationy. Technically, Creationy is the one that I blind bought. It's the same fragrance, just a different name. Now, it didn't come with this cap. Actually, this is a tester, this one that I bought. It's the old paper label. So it had no cap and just looked like this. And I had a cap left over from one of my older bottles, so I just kind of did that, made it look nicer. And this here is Enigma Parfum Parfum. So I got Creationy and Enigma. I got them both. But this is one that I had heard of for a while. You know, it was heavily hyped. People saying, oh, this is the best from the house. If you're going to get one, get this one. It has that Raja Parfum sparkly sweetness that you find across so many fragrances in the house, done to the nines. Just perfect. For fall and winter time, one of my favorite releases. And I have each iteration of the stuff. Let's go from something expensive to something on the cheaper side. Something from Scent Story, 24 Ice Gold. This is an interesting house fragrance line. So just a very, very quick rundown on this. Scent Story really got popular with 24 Gold. That one, a sweet, ambery, oudy fragrance, and also was very inexpensive, but it was selling out everywhere. And then people started to gravitate toward Lattafa's Rogba because that was more readily found, and it was also similar to 24 Gold. And in case you're wondering what's with the name 24, well, it was inspired by the television show 24 with Kiefer Sutherland. So 24 Ice Gold. Get it? Ice Gold? Ice cold? Oh, genius. This one was a flanker that came out after 24 Gold. And it was one that got, a little modicum of hype. Not as much as 24 Gold, but people talked about it for a little bit of time and then just poof, gone. Nobody talks about it now. It's not very expensive. I think at Fragrance Buy, it's under 40 bucks. I think it's around 35, something like that. It has a great opening. It's clean, it's sweet. It's got a fruity freshness. Good amount of bergamot in the opening mixing together with jasmine. Actually smells a little similar to Light Blue for Women from Dolce & Gabbana. I mean, don't worry. It's completely a unisex fragrance. All guys can pull this off, but also so can their girlfriend or wife. I really enjoy the way this smells. I think it's criminally overlooked. A nice compliment puller and great in spring and summer. Another cheap one after that, Lalique L'Insoumis. Shout out to Fabrice Pellegrin who did this fragrance because he also did my fragrance, Blue Ridge. Shameless self-promotion, Blue Ridge, available nationwide. in every Perfumania and fragrance outlet store in the country. Alternatively, you can order that through the link in the description of Michael Moell's website. Use the code GENTS for 20% off. And also, Terra Nova and Jet Black Enigma, my other fragrances, will be in every fragrance outlet and Perfumania nationwide by the end of this month. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. So Linsumi is a fragrance that's very classy, gentlemanly, a little bit sweet, aromatic, has kind of a green touch to it. It's got a booziness in there as well, which I think is very well done. Presentation looks slick. The cap is nice. The bottle is beautiful. There's a lot to like about this, and it absolutely flies under the radar. So your average bro not going to know about this. Then we've got one from 8 & Bob. It's one of their new releases, Agneta. This one is dry. It's got a dry spiciness right off the top and kind of a dry woodiness as well. It also has a little smoke in there. It's got coffee. It has a little bit of warmth, some spice, some sweetness. Very classy, very well done, high quality stuff. A little bit pricier than the 8 & Bob fragrances that came before it, but you do get this snazzy new presentation, and it's also an extrait to parfum, so there's that. I wanted to see which way 8 & Bob was going with their new things. This one seemed more appealing to me as far as the breakdown goes versus their other new release, so I went with this one. Another more affordable fragrance after that, XX from Barbados. Not a huge fan of the charm on the front of the bottle here. Looks a little bit cheap, and when you move the bottle, but you know, not a huge deal. So this is another one with coffee in it, quite well done. An easy one to wear, a nice red apple off the top, mixing together with black currant. So in the opening there, a nice freshness and sweetness from the fruit, and also a little tart edge to it. A little dusty florals as it dries down. It doesn't smell the same as Halloween Man X or Herrera Bad Boy. But I would say if you like those fragrances or scents like that, you should like this one as well. It kind of straddles that line between trying to make something that's a little more unique, that doesn't smell very close to a lot of other things out there, while also being a versatile compliment pulling type scent, and it does it well. Last fragrance, Tom Ford Costa Azura. This is obviously in the private blend bottle. This has been resurrected like a phoenix coming back from the depths of the shadow realm because they killed it off, but it has been resurrected as a signature line bottle fragrance in the signature line, so thankfully you can still find it. I know Neroli Portofino was like the really big Tom Ford, right, as far as the fragrances that people would wear during summer, but I always gravitated more toward this one and also Mandarino di Amalfi. Neroli Portofino, great release, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying Costa Azura is a little more interesting to me. Now, to be fair, this is more divisive than Neroli Portofino, for sure. Neroli Portofino, much easier to wear, especially on like a beach day, on vacation, something like that. This one has driftwood, seaweed. It's got some resins in there. It's got some aromatics, a little bit of like a faint smoky woodiness. So you put all those together, and that's not your easiest sell as far as a summertime release goes, especially one in a blue bottle like this. But I thought it smelled really good, very unique. So that one captured my attention a bit more, and I kind of fell in love with it. I was sad to see it go, and then happy to see it come back. So there we go, some blind buys that worked out really well for me, and not the more typical ones like Dior Sauvage Elixir. Wow, I love it. All right, guys, that will do it for me. Thank you for hanging with me. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. And also, let me know in the comments some blind buys that you maybe didn't expect to work for you that did. Stay safe out there. See you later.